Hey guys, Grumpy here with the next episode of Zero to Hero. So in the previous episode, we were farming in the Abyss for shrouded weaponry. We're gonna continue doing that today in this episode, with an eye for farming substrates for what's it called? Uh, the Abyssal Glares. Doing a little side testing using the Abyssal Glares against the threat fleets. It seemed to perform pretty well, just having constant pressure on them, the beams dealing damage to their swarms, right? It seemed to perform really well. I want to get that spread amongst as many ships as I can to see if that helps us. Um, I will need to practice against a third strike fleet. I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet. But from the little bit of testing I did on the side, it seemed to work against at least single fabricators. So, carrying on, there's a couple of points of order that we need to take care of. So, rewatching my series from the beginning, I knew I had more substrate and other shrouded weapons the first time we came out into the Abyss. Actually, I think it was like over here. I left that a very long time ago on this abandoned siphon station. So we need to go grab some of those materials. Also, I need to go home and grab um, the wormhole components, and I need to put it back here in limbo. I believe I said I was going to do that last episode, and then it completely slipped my mind. We got distracted doing other things, so we're gonna continue. We're gonna go do that. On our way back, of course, we're gonna continue to fight the shrouded. Yes. So, I I might as well give it a check. What's our? Yeah, we have really low CR. Actually, it's not worth it. I will try to fight threat if we come across another gravity well after I heal up, but that's not gonna be the intention. It's really hard, I've noticed, to fight. That's not one. Um, to fight both the shrouded and threat because you kind of need high explosive and point defense for threats, and then you need really strong kinetics for shrouded entities. And I think that's good. Of course, you could just roll with a fleet that's like, well, I don't know, depending on how hard some of these fights are. Um, you might not be able to just run like 15 ships of kinetic and 15 of high explosive. All right, let's take this back to Enda. And let's go knock out those two tasks. Thankfully, we can teleport at least to YMA, so we don't have to fly over there. And then getting back home isn't too difficult. What was that? Alright, we will need to stop by Ghoul. And no, we should have plenty of fuel. Well, the issue is, the stations or the colony, the colonies in the core worlds don't have as much fuel as I would like them to. So once we get inside the colonies, navigating around is a little cumbersome. All right. So let's grab our wormholes. Also, we'll grab all of this. Grab this, like that. We don't need. We'll take some crew. Alright. right, and then let's head on over. Okay. So I think if we want to fight a pirates, you are, but whatever. So I think if we want to fight a third strike fleet, we're gonna have to pilot ourselves. I think it's gonna come down to us in the ziggurat. Let's head to YMA. Transponder. I think it's gonna come down to us in the ziggurat and piloting. I don't see like building a fleet that the AI can a practical fleet. I know I talked about this before, but a fleet that the AI would be able to handle and like prioritize targets. Yeah, I also have some ships left behind. We won't worry about that. Actually, I'll take the scarabs. I'll take the small ships. I'll leave these behind. And let's grab these goods. So, yeah. We also have a hypertemp shunt, shrouded lens, and shrouded thunderhead. I thought I had substrate here as well. It's not. Let's grab all the rest of these goods. Cool, we have enough room for everything. Awesome. Alright. I guess we might as well scuttle those ships. We can sell them to Salamanca. We're gonna burn fuel doing this, but it's alright. $12,000 credits for a Griffin? Yikes, alright. A little rude. But anyway, we emptied out the station, and now we can fly. Sure. Now we can fly back home. So let's knock that out real quick. We'll establish one half of the anchor inside of our capital world near Spectre, and then we'll put the other half in Limbo when we get out there. So this way, we just start in the Abyss. Huh. That was weird. I've never seen the sensor ghosts orbit something else. I thought they could only orbit around the player. Let's see if this one's the right jump. Nice. Alright, let's steal more fuel from ourselves. Let's in order to install the wormhole, we need to break one of these relays, and it's not gonna be this one. Oh wait, do we only have the one? No. Okay, yeah, there it is. Alright, let's go ahead and break this. And then we need to deploy the wormhole. Let's leave Charlie here. Sure. It's gonna take 142 days for that to stabilize. Okay. And then let's head back to Delta Balragi. Head back to Limbo, and then we will head out to Limbo. As we wrap up the series, something that I want to do is decide, and I'm gonna need feedback from you guys, is decide what Starsector series I should do next. Let's grab some fuel from Ghoul. What Starsector series I should do next, and then also it's out here. What series I should bring to the channel. I know Frostpunk 2 got a lot of support the last time I asked that question, so I'm assuming that's still on the table. You don't need any of this. I'm assuming that's still on the table. If you guys are interested, I definitely don't have a problem with that. Why did I bring my Marine? I keep stockpiling my Marines here, and they don't need to be here. They need to be back home. All right. Is there any tweaks that we want to make? Or so I should say, are there any tweaks that we want to make? Let's leave behind this retribution. We don't need it. And then those small ships that I just picked up, we don't need those as well. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna take the Invictus with us. And it's going to be hard to get it on the battlefield. But I feel like it has what it takes to tank the what's the beam, the laser, the Shrouded Eye. Let's do that. Alright, so let's just strip it completely. And we'll try it. I don't know why I built an advanced turret gyros. I feel silly. This thing is 100% just about these hard points in the front. Let's grab the non-scuffed one. There might be something to do with that one, but we won't worry about that. Okay. So, the shrouded, the way they move is kind of towards you and back. They don't really strafe side to side. So, based on that assumption, I am just going to focus on making sure this thing can turn quickly, and just putting weapons in the front slots of this. Now, I would like to put 4 Storm Needlers in here. Unfortunately, I don't have any with me. Yeah, none of these have Storm Needlers. So we're just gonna use the Mark 9s for now, but you know what we can do? We can order them, can't we? Do I know how to make a Storm Needler? I don't. Large ballistic? I don't. I'll say we can order them to Ghoul 2. But this will be less of an issue once we establish our wormhole in Inda. Not in Inda, in Spectre. So, let's do 4 Mark 9 autocannons. Down the sides, of course, are squalls. And then we want to make this thing as tanky as possible. So we want like armored weapon mounts, blast doors. We don't really care about heavy armor. Like the difference between 11,500 and 11,000 is nothing. We want reinforced bulkheads. And we can't shield shunt it, unfortunately. but that's okay. Is there anything else we want on it? I don't think so. Okay. And now we want an officer to pilot it. Do we have an officer? Let's see. You. We can steal you. No. We can steal you. And I really wish you had combat endurance. So actually, I'm going to use you. And we're going to make combat endurance elite. So the reason we're making combat endurance elite is that this thing will repair based on the hull, the maximum hull of the ship. 2,000 points or 50% of the maximum hull, whichever one is higher. The Invictus has something like 64,000 hull. Yeah. So we'll get 32,000 healing out of this gentleman. Now, if you want to maximize this this officer, you would want combat endurance, damage control, impact mitigation, polarized armor, and then you can go for systems expertise, and you can elite that as well, so you take less damage. Let's also make, yeah, and then also field modulation is a wasted stat, but we do have systems expertise at least. Okay, so you're not the perfect officer, but we'll make it work. Are you better? Kinda. You don't have systems expertise. Systems expertise is really important for the Invictus because we're just focusing on its main weapons. We really want to be able to fire off that LiDAR array as quickly as possible. Alright, as far as buildings go, we probably should build in blast doors to reduce the crew loss. But we won't worry about that for right now. What we want on top of that will be, probably don't need the ECCM package. Go for efficiency overhaul. Let's go for, what does insulated engine assembly do? Yep, this gives us 10% more hull, so we now have 6,800, 68,000 rather. And then I think that's pretty much it. We do not want to increase the crew casualty rate with any of these. And let's go for, yeah, I think that's it actually. Alright, with the rest, let's go ahead and just put it in events. And this is the builds. Dead simple. Point it at the enemy and let it go. I don't think we need, I don't think we need expanded missiles, expanded missile racks. We could get it. We have missile specialization already, and the squalls have a very healthy amount of missiles to begin with. Actually, you know what? Does it matter what we put in capacity events? I don't think it matters. Alright. So you will lead the charge for us. And once we get some D-mods on you, you'll be fantastic for absorbing that damage. Sorry, not absorbing damage. Being deployed. I okay. It just doesn't show up because I have to hit sort. Okay, I thought I ditched the wormhole back home. I thankfully did not. All right, we can drop all these off. That's fine. Let's take a little bit more crew just to cover ourselves. Sure, 3,000 crew sounds great. Top off on fuel, and then let's grab some supply. And let's fly out there. It's very silly, but I think we can use this to lead the charge and protect us. Oh, there's one other thing that I wanted to do. I want to swap around my antimatter launchers and my neutron torpedoes. There we go. I just want to make sure that they're all on the right channel. So neutron, neutron, antimatter, SRM, SRM. Yes, confirm. All right. Now, we're heading to Limbo with intention. We are still looking for those. What are they called? Abyssal lights. We would still like to fight the enemy whenever we can. But I think with the Invictus now, we can fight those larger threats. I don't think I'll ever learn how to get hyper. Sensor readings gathered in hyperspace while traveling at a burn level above 20 are particularly useful. Okay. It's you don't get um you don't get a hyperspace topography prompt every time you jump in a slipstream. So I don't know how fast above 20 you need to go. All right. So let's see if there are any lights on the way. I believe they do respawn. That's a gravity well. We could poke our head in here. See if there are any small fleets to fight. Alright. No. Not interested in that. Nope. Definitely not interested in that one. What's down here? Nope. And I think there was one more over here. Yeah, we'll fight that one. Alright. We'll just go with cheap ships. I probably shouldn't have deployed myself in this fight. Actually, honestly, I could just solo this. I don't know why I deployed any other ship. Okay, so the IR autolances do a really good job of shooting down these as well. And the Abyssal Glare works very similar to the IR Autolance. So that's why I want to have Abyssal Glares when we go up against these bigger fleets. I can just if I have full assault commands. We could choose it. It's trying to flame it out. Alright. We get a fragment fabricator and some more heavy mass drivers. And another void blaster. I really enjoyed the void blaster as well. Alright. Yeah, you're right. We are being chased. So let's not worry about this. Oh, something I just thought of. Um, they could like if you fought multiple threat fleets at the same time, they could probably field all their fabricators at once. Fabricator. They're 20 deployment points. So, that would probably wreck like any fleet. Okay. All right, good fun in the abyss. Let's carry on. I don't like there's something that blinks like the ziggurat. Um, you can see like little purple dots every once in a while, following a yeah, like that one, following a sensor ghost. All right, I think weight was the second. Yeah, I think it's reversed. The top is the hardest and the bottom's the easiest. All right, so let's give it a try. Let's throw our Invictus out there. You know what? I'll do it next time. I think us piloting the Invictus actually makes way more sense. So we'll send the Invictus out first to give it a head start. And then we'll deploy behind it. Not like that. Like, that makes sense. And then we'll have you guys follow the Invictus. Okay. Sorry, combat was paused. I was like, where's my ship? Okay. Maybe we don't need to give it that much of a head start. Now that I think about it. I forgot abyssal hyperspace slows you down dramatically. Well, while we do this, well, I guess we don't really have an option here. We'll see the Invictus in a second. Yep. It's having no problem sinking that abyssal glare. So we'll cancel this order and we'll give you the command to go chase after that. And in the meantime, we can go ahead and start working down these tendrils. We need to give it increased engine protection. Right. But with it taking the brunt of the eye damage, that's perfect for us. How you doing? Yeah, like you've only lost armor on one side of the Invictus so far. Thing's a tank. Alright, the eye is back. And if we take a look at our Invictus, you'll notice it's not taking very much damage. However, it is out of position now, and the old slot is taking that damage, which it's not meant to. Okay, you're approaching me. Oh, you know what? Neutron torpedoes actually, if they connect, might do a ton of damage to you. Yeah, 10,000 damage from that neutron torpedo. So, just keep an eye on the Invictus. Its flux never goes anywhere in these fights, so I'm going to drop its capacity for vents. It definitely needs to be able to vent fast enough. Um, wow, that was large. It doesn't need to. It doesn't need to be able to fire continuously. Alright. And the Invictus did its job. Nice. Sick. And that's the difference that having the Invictus makes. Just able to eat the eye, and then because the eye was fluxed out, we could easily kill it, and then the rest of our fleet could operate. 9 substrate. That's awesome. That is enough for 1 abyssal glare. And we will be making another one as quickly as possible. I believe you are just a regular light. You are gigantic. Okay. It's a bit of a waste. But we have increased sensor range now. Doesn't matter. We're gonna lose it in a second as soon as we jump in here. What was the death toll on that though? I forgot to check the menu. Not the menu, the post combat summary. Alright, we're gonna put the wormhole back. Unfortunately, it is going to take a half a cycle to stabilize, but now we have a link between Limbo and Spectre. So, whereas before we were juggling our weapons between Inda and Spectre, now we can just put all of our resources back on Spectre. And unfortunately, we don't really need Ghoul 2 any longer. But it did serve us well, so thank you. Ghoul 2. Is there room for a Ghoul 3 in commemoration? Yeah. Pie Ramses. Make you Ghoul 3 if we wanted. I don't think we can abandon. I think Ghoul 2 is now size 5. Oh no, it's size 4. We could abandon it if we wanted to. We'll disable. Well, I mean, we have like a year. Well, we have more than that until it grows to size 5. But we'll abandon it when we get there. All right, let's jump into this gravity well. See if we can't fight another small threat. All right, we got a couple here. What are you? One fabricator? Triple fabricator. No, no, thank you. No, no thanks. We have another triple. We have a second strike, double fabricator, and we have a single. If we can fight that single, I'd love to fight that one. Let's see. Oh, there's another one. Double, no. Let's jump out. And then let's jump back in. I believe you're a triple. See if we can hide from the one up there. And let's see if you are the one we're interested in. No. No. Did you just avoid my fleet? No, I don't think there's a way to isolate that one. Alright. I don't I don't think there's a way to get to this one. It's not worth it. Let's not get stranded in the abyss. We do need to keep in mind we need to get back home eventually. Alright, let's see if we get better luck here. I do wish I wish threat was stationary, like dormant, and you can go up to the fleets and choose which one you want to fight because the fights are already very dangerous. If you let a fabricator get out of hand, the fight is over very, very quickly. So to like try to pick apart which ones you want to fight is a little tough. Um, just being able to choose your fight like you can choose with the shrouded is a lot better. Let's see. You seemed kind of large from the ping. Oh, absolutely not. No. Let's see what fleet was down here. That fleet is a death sentence. It's not triple fabricated, but it's still, oh my, but it's still very lethal. Let me see something. How much are, if I go to ships and I filter by threat, 10 deployment points, hives are 22, lines are 20. Yeah, no. I mean, you could deploy ships as the day is long. Alright, let's see what's over here. Nope. Alright, you seem reasonably... Okay. The silhouettes mean nothing. Even the quote-unquote small silhouettes are still extremely lethal fleets. Alright. Let's continue to head back to Inda. I said it before, but Alex did a phenomenal job of making the Abyss proper terrifying. Alright. Okay, here's a light. Nope, just a regular light. We will interdict it for some speed. And here we have an evil light. Now, do I want to try... Let's not push our luck. Let's just do another medium fight. I think if we had the Storm Needlers, then I would feel more comfortable bringing the Invictus and doing a double fight, or doing the hardest fight. The only difference is there's 2 Shrouded Eyes in the harder fight, but it's a world of difference. Basically, it's harder to hide from the eye. You're very likely to get flanked, and additional ships get blown up. So we'll just do a normal fight. We'll pick up our Storm Needlers and Spectre, and then we can work on doing the larger ones. So let's go ahead and begin. This time I won't deploy behind the Invictus. We'll just, well... No, I feel like deploying behind the Invictus was the secret sauce. See, the problem is the Invictus is so slow. It has a top speed of 37, which gets outclassed by the Burn Drive Onslaught, the Burn Drive Onslaught, the Legion, right? Like, everything else here is faster than it. We probably don't need the Odyssey, actually. What do we bring? Let's bring a... we can't afford a Pegasus. And a Retribution? I don't know about that. Bring the Dominator, sure. Alright. And then I want you guys to protect the Invictus as it gets into position. And we can snipe the tendrils that surround it. So the eye is lethal. I don't remember if I talked about this, but the eye is lethal. However, once it brings its flux up, it's no longer a threat, because that's like its main eye ability is the abyssal glare. Essentially, it's... I don't think it has the abyssal glare. No, I don't think it has any weapons on it. But its ability, Darkened Gaze, drives up its flux significantly. But if it has no flux to utilize, then it's not really a threat. So what you want to do is, in some way, somehow, tank the eye and then do a counterattack against it. And that's how you deal with that, which is what the Invictus is for. The fact that they can go inside each other is just insane. Alright. I want you to focus on destroying the eye. And I'll work on these. Okay. I want you three to go attack the mall. Okay. Make sure the eye doesn't get a taste from me as we work on the Shrouded Maelstrom. I don't know if that 10,000 was just splashed onto the Invictus, or if that 10,000 was the Shrouded Tendril blowing up. Let's dump our flux really quickly. I hope that wasn't 10,000 damage to the Invictus, because that's not fair. Continue to destroy some of these smaller ships. I'm gonna have you head over here and deal with that. And then let's see if we can continue to assist here. Oh. Losing the Invictus would not be good. Let's see if we can stun this. And here comes the eye. Alright, new priority. Go focus on that. We might be able to kill the eye here. Okay. And then there was one. How you feeling? Your face has been melted off. Okay. Good to know. But you seem to be performing well enough against this. Do our modes do anything? Maybe my modes do EMP damage to it? Because it's not doing any of its lightning now. Ah, well, there he goes again. Let me just sneak right by you. Nice. Alright, we get 5 more substrate. I guess we high rolled last time. I was expecting another 9. But what we can do then is go here and we can convert that to another abyssal glare. And I think that's it. Cool. So we have all the weapons we want. We installed our wormholes. Everything is good to go in that regard. The only thing that I would like now is a... that's gonna be spooky. Let's heal up first and then we'll fight this. The only thing now that I would like would be a Paragon so that I can mount all these abyssal glares, but unfortunately we just don't have access to it. I know we took the Tritachyon commission. I think we did. Did I ever do that? I think I talked about it, but I never did. I don't... Known enemies. No, we don't have a Tritachyon commission because we would be hostile with the Persians right now if we did. But we could take a Tritachyon commission to get a Paragon from one of their military worlds. But unfortunately, it's just not. I don't think there's enough time for that. Plus, like, I think we're almost done farming the Shrouded anyway. We'll see. Let's do this last fight. We're just waiting for our ships to repair. I believe we have an Anubis. We could use an Anubis. You can mount 3 abyssal glares on an Anubis. Alright, how's the fleet looking? We're just waiting on our combat readiness now. Okay, we want to make sure that we're home for this, by the way. We don't want to get surprised by the hedge. Alright, I think this is good. Alright, and then we'll do another medium fight. And then we'll call the episode. What are our skills? You can't see. We would probably be the perfect Invictus officer. Like, honestly, we could get every skill that we wanted. Plus some. Alright, let's continue. I'm to make this fight go faster. I'm going to try to deploy. No, no, don't be silly. I was going to try to deploy the Invictus with us, but I mean you're just asking for pain if you do that. And do you want to bring in? I'm gonna bring in the Legion, sure. We're going to phase space. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. But I feel like if you go into phase space, because you're no longer in end space, normal space, you should lose the abyssal hyperspace debuff. So like in a phase ship, you would be faster. I think that would be cool. Does it give an unnecessary advantage to phase ships? Yeah, it does. But still. Why can't we have a little fun? Okay, so these ships can explode. Or well, they do explode when they die. So it's good to know. The Invictus getting cooked on all sides is actually a good thing. Its armor can absorb more damage that way. Hello? I'm gonna go ahead and destroy you really quickly. Might get an early kill of them all. And then, once we kill them all, alright, or if that happens, I am going to switch positions with the old slot. So I'm tired of getting zapped on my left side. we go. Oh, you took a lot of damage. Yikes. Alright. Not sure where the eye is, so that's a little uncomfortable. There it is. Send the Invictus up that way. And now, unfortunately, we have to tank the eye because none of our other ships can. And by tank, I definitely mean go into phase. Ooh. I'm going to phase space. I wonder if our modes can stop it. That works as well. Alright. We should not have... Well, I don't know. I don't think any of the automated fighters are worth it against the Shrouded. I don't even do anything. How you holding up? Your face is being melted, but overall, I'd say you're doing really well. Let me move out from in front of the Invictus. Okay, we lost one of the van braces. That's fine. Oh, okay, we're nowhere near the edge of the map. I was like, how far back can this thing run? There we go. All right. It's like pulling teeth at the end there. As your van brace floats off into the abyss. Alright, pick through the wreckage. We get 8 substrate, which is fantastic. Awesome. So, I guess like the episode began, we're going to end it in the abyss. This time, though, headed back home to Inda. And we'll gear up with what we have. in order to fight the threat. We're gonna warm up though. Well, hold on. Before we end this episode, let's try to find a paragon. Um, we'll see if we can contact like an illegal dealer and just purchase a paragon. Um, we'll check a couple of bars, but if we don't find it, then we'll just conclude the episode. And in the next episode, we will, like I mentioned briefly, gear up and try to take on the threat. Warm up with a second strike fleet, so that being two fabricators. And then if we feel comfortable with that, then we'll move on to third. I think though, in order to be successful, I don't know if I even discovered this weapon yet, but what's it called? Yeah, I discovered this weapon, but I don't have any. The Neoferric quad coil, I think, is what we need on the Invictus in order to be successful. This thing does an insane amount, just an absolutely devastating amount of high explosive damage. But you can only get them from fighting threats. So the first couple of fights that we do will be tough going. But as we acquire more of their weapons, then we can use them against them. Does the Invictus play a role fighting threat? I don't think it does. We'll see. But let's go over here to Ghoul, grab some fuel, and then let's jump to a bar. We'll check all of our colony bars. I think this one is cool. Okay, something followed us from the abyss. That's not scary at all. Nope. Not what we're looking for. Can I bring everything home with me? I think so if I drop the metals. Oh wow, it just fits. Nah, it doesn't. We can chuck the metals. And do we have any other garbage? You can drop like the small weapons. Like the single HRMs, single sabos, the breaches. Like, I'm never using any of these weapons. Okay. And then... oh, I have a bunch of ships. Alright, I'm not going to be able to abandon the station just yet. Take these small ships with me though. Alright, let's grab fuel. And let's go check our colony bars. Hopefully there's someone there selling as part of the illegal market. We could purchase a paragon off of them. I mean, we could get lucky and they could be selling, Tritaken could be selling a paragon on the black market. We could also raid them for blueprints and make our own paragons. But we'll see. Let's head over to Delta Baragi. To Poltergeist. Ooh, Zagan got raided by pirates. Hate to see it. Nope. Running for my fleet. So why are you in my system? Afraid to fight me, but willing to uh, attack our colonies. Alright, let's check the bar here. And we can also store these small ships, as well as drop off all this. And we have the planet killer that we can't really do anything with. I don't know what to do with that many. With that much heavy machinery. I don't know why I had that much stored there, but okay. And then we'll store our marines. That's that. And then, yeah, sure. More marines. Nope. Let's check out Ghost, Banshee, and Revenant, and hopefully one of them has what we're looking for. Get out of my system. Alright, let's head over to Ghost. Yeah. Perfect. Hey, guys, they're over there. The people you're looking for, they're over there. Go fight them. You need me. No. Not what we're interested in. They wanted me to do a spy satellite mission. Could do it. I would have to reorganize my entire fleet. I don't feel like doing that. No. Ghost is shielded. Revenant is not shielded. Let's go ahead and build that. Shall we? We could also build ground defenses, and then we might as well build a orbital station, low tech. And then let's check Banshee. Nope. Alright, well, our search for a Paragon or either a Historian, which would have been a further long shot, they can show you where the Paragon blueprint is. or a illegal arms dealer so that we could purchase a Paragon for him. Didn't work out. At the start of the next episode, I'll continue my search for Paragon. Just briefly, we'll head over to Echo Breeze and then check the Tritachyon markets there. If we don't find a Paragon, either way, then we'll head back and we will begin to outfit ourselves to fight threat. Is there any way to check how many days I have left before? The wormholes are stabilized. Awesome. Awesome. The wormhole gets stabilized in 21 days, so we can just teleport from Spectre back home. Back home. Back out to Limbo. Perfect. I think also we might as well. I'm going to redirect the Gate Hauler to Spectre as well, just to make that an all-in-one system. I mean, there's really nothing special about Spectre. It doesn't have to be our capital. It was just the first colony that we founded. Anyway, this episode is going on way too long. A couple of plans happening in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, apologize for the long delay in between the previous episode and this one. I was doing a couple things in the background, work-related stuff, and then also preparing for Brawl King too. So bear with me. The next couple episodes should come out a little bit more consistently. Anyway, other than that, Grumpy out.